welcome to Pennies to Pounds TV. This is a channel where we aim to dispel your myths, simplify difficult financial jargon, rectify your own personal problems while trying to entertain you as well. Happy New Year. And I'm going to be talking about all things credit scores, how to boost yours, how to get a handle on yours, how to check yours, and everything in between, so you're in the right place. So without further ado, let's get into it. So to begin with, what exactly is a credit score? Well, a credit score is a score given to you by credit reference agencies that denotes and shows how good of a borrower you are. So this score basically means if a lender was to lend you money, how responsible are you and how good are you actually be paying that money back. If you take longer to pay money back, or if you have a lot of credit out, your credit score is likely going to be lower. However, if you have credit out and you pay it back on time, on a regular basis and consistently, your credit score is likely to be higher. Now what you'll find is that when you go to check your credit score, if you check on different platforms, for example, if you take like Experian and ClearScore, you might find that you've got one score on Experian and another one on ClearScore. I know I definitely did this. I usually use a platform called Totally Money, so I checked for Totally Money and I was like, okay, my credit score's good. And then one day I checked on ClearScore, out of the blue, I just thought I'd check on there, and my credit score was like, what on earth is this? The reason why you get different scores is because each credit reference agency uses their own criteria to create your credit score. So for example, let's just say, this is just speculating, but let's just say for Experian, they put more of an emphasis on your payment history, so how you've been when it comes to repaying back loans or credit cards or overdrafts that you've got, whereas ClearScore, for example, might actually put more emphasis on how many lines of credit you've got out, so how many credit cards have you got out, overdrafts, all those kinds of things. That's just an example, it's not actually true, but that is an example as to why your credit score may be different. Different credit reference agencies put more weight on different factors, so that's why you have a different score across the board. So what actually influences your credit score? Well, there are a few different factors, but we're gonna go through some of the main ones right now. Number one, like I just mentioned, your payment history. So your payment history basically reflects how good are you paying back your bills, are you paying on time, have you missed any payments, and that is your payment history. A second factor is how much money do you owe? Across all of your lines of credit, how much money do you owe? How many credit cards do you have out, and how much is outstanding on there? On your overdrafts, how much is outstanding on there? Loans and anything else that you may have out that's a line of credit. And number three, another big factor is your credit history. So this refers to how long have you had credit accounts for. For example, I took out my first credit card when I was in my second year of uni, so that was about 2018, I believe. So for me, I would have had my credit card for about 4 years now. So your credit history basically reflects how long have you had credit out for, have you had any issues on there, the length of time that you had credit, how has that been, and how long have you held these lines of credit for. Now we understand what credit scores are and how they work and how they influence. Let's talk about how to actually boost your credit score. Now, number one, and one of the biggest ones, is to join the electoral roll, so aka register to vote. The reason being is when you come to apply for any line of credit, and this can even be as small as phone bills, when you apply for anything, let's say you want to get an overdraft for your current account, right? You want to go and apply, but if you're not on the electoral roll, so if you've never registered to vote, lenders use that to actually check and verify that you are who you say you are and you live where you say you live. If you're not on there, then they can't check, and essentially in the eyes of lenders, you don't exist. There's no way they can verify you are who you say you are. So if you haven't already, go ahead and join the electoral roll. You will likely see your credit score will have a boost, or even more so if you're someone who's logged in and checked their credit score and has no score. Sometimes that does happen to some people, depending on how young you are as well. If you're 18, 19, just checking, you might have no score because you've never had a phone bill in your name or any kind of other bill in your name. Joining the electoral roll will help to give you that boost and hopefully start you on your path of your credit score. It's pretty easy. If you just type in join the electoral roll and your borough, if you live in London or in the UK, whatever area you live in, you'll tend to find either one to sign up for your local council or your local borough, or you'll find a link to actually sign up and join the electoral roll. You usually get a letter in the post about a week or two after you joined online to just confirm that you're on the electoral roll. So that's all good. Number two is to get a credit card. Now this is the controversial one, and don't worry if you are someone listening to this saying, oh no, I don't want to get a credit card, I have got a few more options towards the latter part of the video which don't involve credit cards that can still help you to boost your score. So just hang on or skip to those parts. I'll put the timers down below. Don't worry, hold on. Number two is to get a credit card, and the reason being is you're taking out credit. Credit cards are really good tools to help you to build your credit score. By using your credit card and making repayments on time, be able to show lenders that you're a responsible borrower who can actually pay back the money that you borrow in good time. And because of this, you're likely to see your credit score improve over time. There are also a range of benefits that come with so many different credit cards. For example, you get cash back on some, you also get rewards on others, you collect Avios points and different kinds of points on different credit cards. So there are also additional bonuses and treats, I guess. So there are also additional bonuses that come with different credit cards. So have a look and see when you apply for a credit card, if you want to get one, have a look and see is there anything else that I can get with my credit card that I can make benefit and make use of. There are also some credit cards that have 0% interest, which means that you pay 0% on top of the money that you borrow for a period of time, usually around 12, 18, 24 months, depending on your eligibility. But again, have a look, have a search and see if you actually can be approved for one, because that also depends on your credit score. So it has to be pretty good to be able to get one, but it is worthwhile having a look and seeing if you can apply for one. If you're interested in getting a credit card, then there are a few places that you can look at, such as comparison sites like Money Supermarket or Go Compare. Number 3 is to make double repayments on your credit card. Now this sounds like madness. I know it does sound like what you're on about, but hold on, let me explain. So when you have a credit card, you'll know that it's important to make repayments on time, whether it's manually, as in you physically make the transfer from your current account to pay with your credit card, or via direct debit, as in you set up an amount to be transferred on a certain date every single month to pay off your credit card. However, did you know that making double payments can actually help you to build up your credit score over time? So let me explain how this works. Let's say I have a credit card and my outstanding is £500. I've now decided that I want to pay off £100 for my credit card this month. So typically what you would do is you would take the £100 and either transfer it manually or have that set up via direct debit to leave your current account to your credit card to pay off that £100. But what you can do, and this works if you're transferring manually, so if you're actually physically making a transfer, is that you can split up that payment. So let's say now I have that £100 that I still want to pay off, but I now decide to pay in £50 first. So my first £50, let's say I pay it on the 1st of the month. I send that £50 over to my credit card. And now let's say 14 days later, so on the 14th of the month, I transfer another £50 to my credit card. It's the same £100, however, I split up the payments. To lenders, you seem like more of a responsible borrower who again can pay on time and can pay in regular amounts and will thus increase your credit score over time. Number 4 is to pay your bills on time. Again, a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people this affects. Paying your bills on time really has an impact. So I'm not talking about your little subscriptions. For example, you subscribe to Disney Plus or Netflix or Spotify, that won't have an impact, but more your household bills. If you pay for water, gas, electric, even your phone bill, which a lot of people don't realize, not paying your phone bill on time has an effect on your credit score. And you'll find if you log in and check your credit history that if you have missed a payment on the phone bill in the last 6 years, usually you'll be able to see it on your credit file. That'll be sitting there for you to have a look at. So it's super important that you pay your bills on time, because again, any missed payments will negatively affect your credit score. Number 5, keep your credit utilization under 30%. Now, what exactly does that mean? This means if you have, let's say, a credit card again, and you've got an £1,000 limit, you want to try and keep how much you spend under 30% of that. So you want to keep it about £300 and under. Now this applies more to anyone who's not looking to pay off their credit card in one go. So for example, if I put £700 on my credit card and I'm looking to spread that over a couple of months, then this will apply to you more. But if you're someone who's put £1,000 on and you're going to pay £1,000 before your next bill comes, then that's absolutely fine. But with that example, you can have your £700 and put it in your credit card and pay it off in chunks over a few months. But remember, try not to keep it over 30% for too many months, because this could negatively impact your credit score and thus decreasing it over time. Number 6 is try to hold any older accounts that you may have in good standing. Now, when your credit score has been determined, a big influence is how long you've held accounts for. For example, if you've had a credit card for 5 years and never missed a payment, this will likely work in your favor. And number 7, as you can imagine, it is crunch those debts. It is super important if you have debts to figure out a debt repayment plan and try and crunch down and reduce the amount of debt that you have. The more debt you have outstanding, the more of a liability you look like to lenders, and again will negatively affect your credit score. The reason for this is lenders perceive that you have a dependence on credit and will A, likely reject you for any additional lines of credit you apply for, or B, offer you additional lines but at a higher interest rate. So there we go, we've covered the conventional methods of increasing your credit score. Now we're going to move on to 3 platforms which can actually help you to increase your credit score, but not using a credit card. Now before I get any further and explain these to you, remember that with these platforms, any missed payments on them can still negatively affect your credit score. So it's super important, even though they're trying to help you to build your credit score, that you don't miss any payments, because that again can help to harm your credit score as opposed to improve it. Now the first platform we're going to be talking about is called Lockbox. Now I have personally tried, tested and used this platform, so I can give you my experience as well as explain how it works. So the way it works with Lockbox is you essentially take out a loan. Now the reason loan is in quotation marks is because it's not like how you'd view a normal loan. With a regular loan, you'd expect to borrow money and the money goes into your account. You're not actually doing that. You're taking out an artificial loan that you're going to pay back. But let me explain. So you pick an amount between £20 and £200 that you want to deposit every single month. You deposit that money for 12 months. So let's say I picked £50. I deposit that £50 for 12 months to pay off this loan, because the loan that I would have taken out, because I picked £50 as my monthly deposit, my loan that I'm taking out will be £600. And I'll pay that every single month on a certain date, every single month for 12 months. Now, at the end of the 12 months, providing you haven't done anything else externally to ruin your credit score or bring it down, you haven't applied for any lines of credit, or you haven't missed any payments, as long as everything else is fine, you should see your credit score increase over the course of that 12 months. At the end of it, you get to take out that money. That £600 can come back to me, so you can see it as like a savings account and a credit builder wrapped into one. You also have the option to close the account earlier and take the money out earlier. So from month 6 you can do so, but that does come with a £30 fee that you have to pay. But you can actually waive that fee if you choose to open a bank account with them through their affiliate. Lockbox have also launched an additional membership for £2.50, and with that you're able to get extra benefits such as being able to add your rent payments to your credit history to help to build your credit score up, and a points promise. So a points promise basically means that they promise, and a points promise means that they promise to increase your credit score by at least 25 points, or they'll give you £25. So that's how Lockbox works. I've used it, like I said, myself. Personally, I think it's a really good platform. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really simple to use. You literally set it up and you don't have to do anything else until it comes time to withdraw. They also send you regular emails to help you to give you different additional tips on how to build your credit score. I think it's really cool and really interesting. If you want to have a look and give it a go yourself, there'll be links in the description for everything that I've mentioned going forward, including Lockbox. So have a look, click through and go and sign up. I like it. I like it, but do your research and have a look, see if you like it too. And yeah, if you do use it, or if you have used it, in the comments let me know. How'd you find it? Did you like it as well? Number 2 is called Pave. You may actually know it better as Portify, but they have now rebranded and called themselves Pave. So similar to Lockbox, they are a credit builder that helps you to build your credit score up over time. There are 3 main ways of doing this. Number 1, which is their free way, so you can sign up and do this without paying any money, is their free membership. We're able to connect your bank account up to the platform, and what they'll do is they'll scan through all your accounts and have a look and pluck out all the regular subscriptions and bills that you need to pay every single month. And what they'll do is they'll set up smart alerts to let you know when your bill is up and coming, so you don't miss any payments and thus negatively affect your credit score. So with these reminders, you get to always pay your bills on time and hopefully build your credit score up over time. Their light membership is similar to Lockbox. This is £5 a month, and this is where they construct a loan for you that you will repay through your membership subscription. This will again, over the longer term, help to build a credit score. But the difference is with this one, they only report it to Experian. So this means that you will likely see it increase in your credit score on Experian, but not any other platforms. Remember, all of these credit builders will only work if you're doing the work outside. So if you're not missing any payments, if you're not applying for any lines of credit or doing anything else that could harm your credit score, then you will likely see increases by using these credit builders over time in your credit score. And then they have the Plus membership, which is £9 a month. So this is everything you get in the previous memberships, but also if you're eligible, Pave will open up a line of credit for you that can be used to top up your bank account if you have an upcoming bill and you don't have enough money in there to be able to pay it. So this is really important because, as we know, paying our bills on time, paying any recurring expenses on time help to increase our credit score, because it looks like we're more of a reliable borrower to lenders. Now with this membership, they will report this to all of the credit reference agencies, so TransUnion, Equifax and Experian. And another bonus is you also get to check your TransUnion credit score within the app. So that is how Pave, formerly known as Portify, works. I personally have never used this, but again, I've researched it. It is a good option for someone who's looking to build their credit score up and you want to do it through memberships. That way you don't necessarily want to kind of faff around with anything else. If you want to build your credit score, it is a good option to have a look at. Again, link will be down below so you can have a look and click through and see how you feel. And the final one is Bits. Now I've definitely seen Bits around. I've seen them in train stations and different adverts all about, so this is Bits. So Bits is slightly different to the previous platforms I've just mentioned in the fact that they identify as almost like a digital only credit card, as they identify as like a digital only credit builder credit card. So Bits have self-dubbed themselves a digital store card, and the way that they help you to build credit is that they charge you a monthly subscription fee that is automatically paid off using your card. It is a fixed fee and is treated as a credit card by credit reference agencies such as Experian. So when you pay your subscription fee and it's paid off your credit card, this is treated as you repaying a debt and thus over time helping to increase your credit score. So according to Bits, they say that you should see increases in your credit score within 2 to 3 months from using them. And again, as long as you're not doing anything else outside to harm your credit score, within about 2 to 3 months you should see your credit score increase. They also say that it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for it to show up on your credit file, because remember, it is a loan because you're taking out a credit card. That will show up in your credit file after about 6 to 8 weeks of you actually signing up and applying for Bits. As it is positioned as a digital credit card, you can make purchases, but the catch is you can only shop at brands that are listed in the Bits web store. So there's a limited and finite number of brands on their web store that you can shop from, but you can't just take your digital credit card and walk into anywhere else and tap it and pay. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. So you're probably wondering, how much is subscription? Well, there are 4 different tiers of subscription. So the 4 tiers range from either £4, £12, £20 or £40 a month. So as you can imagine, the higher the subscription amount that you pay, the greater the impact that will have on your credit score. Remember, there are no additional fees that usually come with a credit card, such as interest. That is not included with Bits. It's literally just a subscription fee. Now, Bits might be a really good option if you're someone who's struggling to get any lines of credit. You're not getting approved for anything, so you can't actually build your credit score. Bits are good for those people who are struggling and want to build out their bad credit to a good place. All of the free platforms I just mentioned do have little caveats. So there's certain things like, for example, Pave say if you have any CCJs on your file, then they may not work for you. Remember to go ahead and have a look at all of them. All the links are down below, so you can have a look and research yourself and see what may suit you the best if you want to build out your credit score. We also have loads of resources on the Pennies to Pounds website and the podcast to help you to continue to build out your credit score and learn more about different parts of your credit history. So what is a soft check? What is a hard check? How do credit cards affect your credit score? All the benefits that credit cards have and everything else in between. I put some links down below, but there's also a few blog posts that you can have a look. But yes, thank you so much for watching. We're going to build up our credit score in 2022 and beyond. We have got this in hand. Hopefully these tips help, and here's to having a great credit score this year. Bye everyone.